Welcome to Tia's Table, where we talk about making fitness and wellness doable for busy women like you and me. Looking for healthy meal ideas, workout motivation, and good conversation? Don't worry, I got you, girl. Sit back, grab a snack, and let's have some girl talk. Hey, girl. Hey, welcome back to season 3 of Tia's Table. I'm Tia, a certified group fitness instructor and behavior change coach. I help women develop healthy habits that align with their health, wellness, and fitness goals. If you or a lady in your life feel as if they need help developing healthier habits, feel free to reach out to me. You can do that by emailing me at tiavfitness@gmail.com, or you can visit my website, www.tiavfitness.com, and pretty soon you'll be able to download the app. And I'll let you know when that is ready for download, girl. Welcome to season 3. Listen, I'm so excited to be here. Yesterday was my half birthday, which is something that I just kind of totally made up. Not really. I think other people kind of celebrate that too. It gives us something to do and something to be excited about and happy about, something that can bring us joy midway through our personal new year. And I just kind of thought to myself, why not? Why not celebrate the fact that I'm 39 and a half years old? Because I'm excited about turning 40. And this just feels like a mini celebratory pit stop on my way to the big 4-0. So all this week, I decided I was going to celebrate my 39th and a half birthday. So welcome to the party, girl. It's just you and me, and we're about to get into some really great conversations. So before we do, let's talk about something that I made recently. One of them is really good. One of them is not good for you, but girl, everybody needs a little bit of balance. So the first thing that I made, and I've made it before, I've made it a million times, but this time, because I'm trying to watch how much white rice I'm consuming. And I love white rice. I could eat white rice every single day and never get sick of it. I feel like it goes with everything. I was raised on white rice. But these days I kind of have to watch it. So I made red beans and rice. And if you get the newsletter, then you got my recipe for red beans and rice. I make it in the crock pot. It is absolutely amazing. It comes out delicious every time. Like, close your eyes and you're on Bourbon Street. That's how good that red beans and rice recipe is. Now, normally I top it, or I put it on top of white rice, but since I'm trying to watch it, I put it on top of cabbage this time. And when I mean to tell you it hit in all the right places. It was so good. So comforting, so filling, still good for you. The flavor was banging, and I ate it for like a couple days, and until I decided to just freeze the rest. Because after a while, girl, it's only so many beans and cabbage bowls you can eat before that's not cute anymore. So then I had to freeze the rest, and I did. But oh my gosh, was it so good. So if you get the newsletter, try it out. You make it in the crock pot. It's not even that many ingredients. Like, people will think you really know how to cook. If you're somebody who's just now getting into cooking, or maybe your confidence level isn't there yet with like making things and them turning out good. Because I used to be that girl. I remember in my early 20s, when I was first married and I was first learning how to cook, I remember what that was like, where you're making things and you're like, ooh, I don't know which way this is going to go. Like, is it even going to taste good? And you were looking for those surefire recipes that you could kind of like stand on until you grew your list of things that you knew how to cook. Well, girl, this is one of them. Every single time you make this recipe, it's going to hit. Because it's exact. If you do it exactly how I have it up there, it's going to hit every time. And the people that you're serving it to, they're going to be like, wow, she knows what she's doing. This girl knows how to cook. And fall and winter is on the horizon. Like, we can see it. If we look hard enough, we can see it. This will get you through that long, cold weather season. So make it and let me know what you think. So that's the first thing I made. The second thing that I made, which you guys know I'm still pretty new to baking. I mean, like I've been baking, but not on this level, I would say. Like before now, I would say that I would be trying, like experimenting, teaching myself, trying to learn how to make the things that I grew up eating, right? Some of the things I make and they are like perfect every single time. Some of the things I make are getting better. Like every time I make it, it gets a little better, right? I finally made a pound cake that was so good that it literally almost got all the way gone within like a day. This pound cake, I'm sure it would have been like perfect and great without the blueberries because I added blueberries to it. So it was like a blueberry pound cake. So if you could imagine like the most moist, most delicious blueberry muffin. If you've ever had the blueberry cake from Nothing But Bundt Cakes, think of that. But think about it coming out of your own kitchen and you're eating it fresh out of the oven. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. That is the first time that I have ever made a pound cake. And when I tasted it, I knew like, oh yeah, this is good. Like this is a hit. This tastes like somebody's grandma made it. But it was me. You know what I'm saying? I can't even begin to tell you how many pound cakes it has taken me to get to this one. And not that the pound cakes of the past, not that they were bad. Like they were certainly like, like, okay, yay, she made a pound cake, good. Like people ate them. But this one was one that I know like, oh, people will ask me to make this. Like people will say like, oh, Tia, can you make me a pound cake? Can you make this? Can you bring that blueberry pound cake? And y'all, since it's just me and you, I'm going to tell you, because I don't plan on selling this pound cake or nothing like that. Let me tell you why the pound cake was so good. First of all, it was a great recipe. I used the recipe from Life is What You Bake It or Life is How You Bake It. The author of the cookbook, her name is Valerie. So if you look it up on Amazon, you'll see it. Great cookbook. I've made several things out of it and everything has been like really, really good, right? So her recipe for the pound cake was already clearly, it was perfect because even without the blueberries, I could tell that pound cake was going to be like amazing. Okay. Oh, and I should also add in here, just for anybody who's new to baking, that what you use actually matters. So when you're going to bake a cake, this is when you get like the top shelf butter. This is when you get the really good sugar or the really good flour. Like you don't skimp, get the best you can afford, because I truly believe that all of that matters when you are baking a cake. Okay, so boom, get to the blueberries, right? I got the blueberries, you clean them, make sure no stems are on them, anything like that. Then I put them in a bowl with lots of sugar, some melted butter. Not a lot though. And make sure you do unsalted butter. Just a little bit, a little tiny bit, right? A little bit of vanilla, just a little tiny bit, because they're going in a cake. And then I drown them in rum. And I sat those blueberries in my refrigerator and I let them get good and sloshy. I pulled them out. We drained the juice off of them, or, the rum concoction that I'd made. We drained that off of them, and then I added them to the pound cake batter. When I mean to tell you that cake was good, that cake was good. The crust on it was nice and thick and crunchy the way you want a pound cake to be. And the inside was moist, sweet, soft, delicious, and just like amazing. I was so proud of myself. So, my little hobby of learning how to bake is coming right along. And I would like to imagine that if I turn 40 in 6 months, by the time I turn 60, 20 years from now, Lord willing, you're not going to be able to tell me nothing about that kitchen. You're not going to be able to tell me anything. And I'll be cranking out cakes and pies for my children. And if there are any other children running around here by then, them too. They'll be like, Grandma, can you make me a pound cake? And I'll be like, baby, say less. And Grandma's going to just I'm going to be that grandma. I'm going to just have the stuff. Baby, say less. You want a pound cake? you'll have that pound cake by lunchtime, sweetheart. Yes. So good. So if you are a baker, if you're new to baking, get her cookbook and try all of the things because everything in it has been absolutely amazing. So let's get into today's topic of conversation. I feel like it's going to be a good one. As I'm coming into my 40s, I'm having all of these revelations and I'm thinking about things in a whole new way, as people told me you would when you turn 40. They say when you turn 40, you just stop caring about pretty much almost everything, right? And it only gets better the older you get. And I am excited about that. I have been seeing online a lot of conversation about just about women and their place in certain spaces, or like, why is she still doing this? Or why is this person, I guess, so, I don't know, popular for certain things. And I think what sparked this conversation, or at least the thread that I saw, what sparked it was a conversation about Lizzo, right? And we're going to talk more about something else a little bit later in today's episode. But I think people were talking about things that feel like it perhaps is maybe too much, or they feel like something might be more of like an act and it's not necessarily all that genuine, or maybe they feel like people might be too old to still be doing certain things. All of that, all of the things you hear people say, like, she should stop doing so-and-so, like that's not even working for her, right? Or she's too old to be wearing that, or she's too old to be acting that way. And of course, I think there's a time and a place for everything. And sometimes things might be a little inappropriate. We could say, oh, I think that's what it was. People were bringing up the fact that I think Lizzo wore her butt out to some NBA game like a long time ago or something like that. And people were saying, like, number one, she was too old for that, which she's super young. I don't even think Lizzo is 30. So I don't know that I agree with that part. But then two, they were like, well, at the end of the day, it's just inappropriate because your skin is going on that courtside seat that people have been sitting on for decades. And I'm like, yes, absolutely. So the germs there probably are not the best. We probably don't want that on our bottoms. But anyway, but the whole conversation around you're too old, or you shouldn't be doing certain things, just kind of reminded me that, like, oh, people really don't give women like the space to just be. You know what I'm saying? They don't give women, and I think women do it to each other, right? Because we are very quick to be like, so-and-so needs to sit down, or she's too old to be still acting like that, or she's too old to still be going out, or whatever. This covers a myriad of situations, right? But I think we do it to each other. And of course, society does it to us. And that got me to thinking about, why is that? Like, let's say, for example, that I was a singer, right? And let's say, like, I'm no Rihanna, I'm no Beyonce. I'm not one of those kind of singers, like the super famous pop star icons. But let's just say I'm a well-known singer. Like, people know me. Maybe I have bops, I done had a hit or two in my day, but I never really rose to that level of like superstardom. But your girl has been on the cover of a magazine or two. Let's say I had a career similar to someone like, who do we know, friends, so that we can make this. I want to say Ciara. I feel like Ciara has a lot of songs. So let's say that. Let's say I have a career similar to Ciara's. And Ciara has had lots of songs that people know. I would consider Ciara's, career to be successful. Like, she sings, she makes music. But I think where people might get lost in Ciara's sauce is that they feel like, since her music, I guess, doesn't take off in the way that maybe someone like a Rihanna's music might take off. Not that they see Ciara as a failure, but they're just like, why is she still making music? You know what I'm saying? Like, why doesn't she, especially now that she's married to Russell Wilson, and I think she just announced that she was pregnant again. So they're like, yeah, why is she even still making music? And I'm thinking, oh, maybe because making music makes her happy. Full stop. Maybe it's not even about the money. Maybe she sees herself as a singer and as a performer. So she is a creative person who just wants to make songs and makes music videos because it makes her happy. It feeds her in some way, right? So she's probably going to make songs and music videos, and she's going to dance, and she's going to do all of that until she literally cannot physically do it anymore, simply because she enjoys doing it. And I think that is hard for people to wrap their minds around. The idea that people sometimes just do things and it's not necessarily for money, like it's not for clout, it's not for anything. Like, I just do this because I just simply love it. And that is a perfectly fine reason to do it. We all don't have to be consumers of everybody's everything, which is another thing that I think I'm learning as I get older. I'm like, oh, just because something isn't for me, that doesn't mean that it's not for somebody and that it doesn't serve a purpose to someone else. Case in point, I took my daughter to those concerts over the summer. One of them was for Melanie Martinez, whose music was very beautiful. Some of the lyrics were a little bit much, but you know, her art is her art is her art. And as a parent, like at this concert, I'm seeing like all these people, everybody from like tweens all the way up to full blown adults, like having the time of their life. And I was thinking, wow, there's literally something out there for everybody. And let's say if Melanie Martinez was ever told like, oh girl, you're no Taylor Swift, you're no Britney Spears, why are you even still making music? Because you're not that, so just stop. Think about how many of these thousands of people that filled this venue to see her would be missing out on getting blessed by her art and her creativity. Because somebody told her, because you're not this, you may as well stop, right? Very crazy. Very, very crazy. So I was watching another video on TikTok that kind of adds into this, where a girl was talking about how, I guess with her weight loss journey, she felt like she had lost weight, but, you know, she was saying admittedly, but like, I don't think I'm ever going to be like tiny, tiny, tiny. And she was even saying that that wasn't even her goal. She was like, it's not even my goal. It's not my goal. But apparently a family member is constantly saying something to her about her size and about how, like, you know, we know you're dieting or we know you're trying to lose weight, but you're never going to be X size. So like, why even bother? Like, you should just go ahead and have some of this, whatever they're eating, because you're never going to be whatever, right? And so the girl was sharing that like everybody is not going to be for you, and every decision that you make or things that make you happy, those decisions won't be for everybody. And I'm like, yes, girl, absolutely. So as a woman, when I'm either listening to other people talk or I'm reading different things that are related to women and their overall wellness, I think about that and I say, well, I wonder how much of our wellness is affected by the fact that we take into account on some level what other people think about us or what other people expect us to be doing, or the expectations they may have had for you, or you fulfilling some type of role in somebody else's life. How much of that affects your overall wellness? Because what I do know is that anytime your, like, let's say your mental wellness or your emotional wellness is affected, it's a domino effect and it starts to affect everything else. It affects whether or not you feel like working out. It affects whether or not you feel like eating things that are good for you, right? Because for a lot of us, as soon as we have a bad day or somebody hurts our feelings or we get into a disagreement or whatever, one of the first things we do is we'll say, well, oh, like I just need a such and such. Like for me, I'll just be like, oh my gosh, I just need chips and salsa. I just need chips and salsa and a margarita. And I just need to sit at someone's Mexican restaurant and just have my little Mexican food moment because somebody hurt my feelings or I feel bad or I didn't like the way someone said something to me, right? When our overall wellness is affected, it does hit a domino and it kind of knocks down everything else we have going on. So when I hear conversations about things that women should or shouldn't be doing, or she's too old for that, or she shouldn't have that on, especially if these things are being said directly to you, like the girl on TikTok, I want to encourage everybody to not let things like that bother you. Like you're never too old to do anything. You can always reinvent yourself. You can always change your mind. You're never failing at anything. If you're doing something and it's making you happy, you don't have to be making money from it. You don't have to win an award for it. You don't have to be the number one best-selling anything or be at the top of anyone's list for anything. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be. You already won if the very thing that you're doing makes you happy. If it brings you joy, if it's feeding you in some way, if it's allowing you to like feed into the more creative side of yourself, or if it's serving a purpose for you, maybe doing some type of hobby like relaxes you, or it reduces your anxiety, or you just have fun. Like, oh, I just do this because I have fun. That is perfectly okay. You don't have to be like the most successful. Everybody is not going to be an Academy Award winning anything. We're all not going to win a Grammy. We're all not going to be at the top of the best sellers list. Of course, those things are great. It's always great to be acknowledged for the things that you do, for the hard work that you do, right? But it's also great just to do things because you like to do them and they're fun and they make you happy. Period. At the end of the day. Like, it's totally okay just to do things for those reasons too. It's totally okay. People may not understand that. People might not always get it. People might be like, oh, you're wasting your time or you're wasting your money. And it's actually like, no, you're wasting your time telling me this because I'm going to keep doing what I want to do regardless because it makes me happy. And I think that for anyone who is maybe coming into their 40s, maybe you're already in your 40s and you have already learned this lesson. But if this is new to you, just know that you can always, oh, you could wake up tomorrow and decide you want to be somebody else or do something else. And you can do it. And it's okay. Everybody is not going to understand. And it won't always be for everybody. The decisions you make and the reasons why you make them won't always be for everybody. And then also, I am a firm believer that some people are just Debbie Downers, which is, something that they have to work on for themselves. Like they just have to do some self-work. They have to be a little bit more self-reflective and figure out where that energy is coming from. If I'm a person who is always saying what somebody shouldn't do, or they shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't have that on, blah, blah. Like if I'm always doing that, I need to figure out why that is. I really do. Or I would anyway. I would sit down and think to myself, why is she still doing that? And maybe it's at the end of the day because she just wants to. She doesn't need a reason. Just like other people don't need reasons for the things that they do, we don't always need a reason to make ourselves happy. Even if it's over the top, and I enjoy a good over the top. I have so enjoyed seeing people go to concerts this summer. All of the concerts. The Taylor Swift concert. Of course, people are going to Beyonce's concert and dressing up for that. People have been going to the Drake concert. And I didn't even know this, but Ed Sheeran apparently has been doing shows here and there over the summer. And people really get into him too. And I'm just loved seeing people get really excited about their fandom. Like, oh, this is something that makes them happy. It brings them joy. So they're going to dive deep into it. And why is that important? That is important because, number one, life is too short. And your life is not going to wait for you to be happy. It's going to pass whether or not you decide to like make the most of it or not. So when you are paying money to experience different things, I would encourage everybody to truly enjoy it and not in that kind of stuffy way that people can kind of do things. But again, if that's your prerogative, you go for it. But for me, I'm like, no, I want to dress up. I want to scream. I want to dance. I want to walk out of an experience like I was experience. Like I really want to feel it and live it. I don't even want to go to places with people who aren't willing to have like a really good time. Like if you want to be the group of people that just kind of sits back and like talks about everybody, or you just want to be the group of people that kind of sits back because you feel like you're too something to really live in the moment for whatever reason, yeah, that wouldn't be my kind of people, because I want to go and I want to be a part of the show and the experience. You know what I'm saying? I do. So hopefully a few things we can take away from today's conversation is that, number one, we got to stop with the whole like judgment. Like we got to stop with that. Like just let people be who they want to be. Let them have fun. Let them be happy. Let them do things that bring them joy without us questioning why they are doing it, right? And also just know that maybe every time we make a comment about someone in a way that questions why they just won't stop doing something, let us remember that that could be the first domino in the fall for them that takes them completely off of where they should be. And it could take them to a pretty sad place, right? Someone could be living their best life, being very happy and excited and vibrant. We go and we say, why are you doing that? You're not even that great at it, or you're not even being celebrated or recognized for it. So stop. You saying that to somebody, or even saying something as small as like, why you got that on? Like, aren't you a little overdressed? Oh, I hate that one. Like, where are you going? Like, where are you going in that outfit? Those kind of things. You could take somebody who was feeling so great about themselves, and that could be the domino that knocks down their whole little situation. Now she's not working out anymore. She's not drinking water. She's going to McDonald's, when just a few weeks ago, she was taking really good care of herself. But because you couldn't keep your mouth closed, now she's questioning everything about herself. And we don't want to do that to each other. And we would not want anyone to do that to us. You know, one of my favorite sayings right now is that I'm going to treat people the way I treat myself. Not the way I want other people to treat me, because God knows we can't trust other people to do nothing these days, right? I don't trust nobody else to take care of me better than I take care of myself. So I always say now, and I've started saying it to my children, treat people the way you treat yourself. You treat yourself so great. You're so loving to yourself. You give yourself a lot of patience, empathy, and understanding, right? Do the same for other people. Treat people the way you treat yourself. And let's see if that doesn't create more of a loving sisterhood amongst us all. I sure hope so. Moving right along. For my personal workout report, the summer was tough. I would say, I know I talked about it a little bit on the last episode, but the summer was tough. And I don't think I realized how tough the summer was until now that my kids are back in school. Their first day of school was last week, and getting back into a regular routine, I think, has been great for me. It has given me the opportunity to kind of see where maybe I could have done a little bit better over the summer. Probably not, though, because we had a lot going on. So I can't beat myself too much about the summer and how the summer went. But now that I'm back into my regular routine, and it's only been like, I don't know, y'all, maybe five or 6 days. It hasn't even been that many days. But just in the little bit of time that they've been back in school, I'm like, wow, Tia, you can already kind of tell a difference with how your routine really does play a big role in you getting results. Like waking up super early, eating something super early, getting started with your water really early, all of that, and being done with it all, before like, I would say like 7:30, really makes the world of a difference for me in terms of how my body responds to like workouts and food. Another thing that I think my body has responded really well to, and I think is vital for not just my fitness journey, but everybody's, one of the biggest things that I learned, and I think I talk about this in the newsletter too, is the rest and recovery part of it. I'm not kidding. I really do think that on Monday mornings when I wake up, and it could be some type of fitness placebo effect, I don't know. But I really do feel like when I wake up on Monday mornings, I feel as if I look different now because I don't weigh myself. I don't know if I've really lost any weight or anything like that from week to week. But I do know when I wake up from having had a full weekend of rest, I feel as if I look different, or I feel like I can notice results after having had that whole weekend of rest. And my trainer stresses that to me at the end of every week. She's like, Tia, make sure you rest. Like, make sure you take a nap. Make sure you sit down. Make sure you're not up, like overworking your body. Because if you overwork your body, like you're just allowing your body to fight itself. And then she also says, you've done the work, like you've done the work all week. Now you have to let your body be still so God can do the work. And she was like, if you try to outwork your body, you're going to get in his way, and he can't do nothing like when you're in his way. And I'm always like, yes, I I always appreciate a good, like unexpected Bible story or Bible story lesson. Was that Bible school lesson? I do. I always appreciate that. I feel like I relate to those, and those put things into perspective for me really well. So like whenever she says that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. Like I've already done the work. I've already planted the mustard seed. Now I just need to have the faith that things are going to work out. So if you are someone who feels like you have to work out 7 days a week, that whole no days off thing, I'm always so torn about it because on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, I think it's a season for it. Like if you're preparing for something, then maybe, yeah, I could see where you would just want those extra days in there on a very temporary basis. But if you're not, like, let's say you're just trying to just develop healthy habits, please make sure you are building in rest days into whatever schedule you're trying to keep, because the rest days really do matter. They really do help your body to recover, and you will notice results if your body is getting an ample amount of rest. And I know every night I get about 8 hours of sleep every night. But then on the weekends, on Saturday and Sunday, and I'm supposed to rest 3 days. Supposed to be like Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm supposed to like rest, but on Fridays, I tend to still do a little something, like maybe like a walk or something like that. But yeah, Saturdays and Sundays, I let myself like completely rest. I sit, I watch TV, or like we hang out, we go do stuff, but I'm not doing anything extra. And I do find that has really been working for me. So yes, yes, yes to the rest days. I'm so excited about where I'm headed. I have 6 months left, and maybe at the 6-month mark, I'll try to document something. Well, I don't know. We're kind of 6 months out. I'm really bad about documenting stuff, like doing the whole before and after. And that's mainly because I just don't feel the need to like base things on numbers. Like I'm not, I don't care about the numbers of anything as much as I care about how I feel that I look and how I look and feel in my clothes. I tend to base more on that. So whenever I put on an outfit and I feel like it fits better on me or it looks better on me than it did the last time I wore it, that's what keeps me motivated and excited. And that helps me to know, like, okay, girl, everything you're doing is working. It's worth something. Because the last time you wore these shorts were like riding up your thighs, or everything was tighter. You kept having to like pull on it. These days I'll put on something and I'm like, ooh, Tia, like you probably could have gone a size down, or this just fits way better than it did the last time you wore it. So I don't know. I'll have to figure out a way to kind of document and share, because I think that is helpful to people in some way. And if you have any ideas for that, feel free to DM me on Instagram at Tia V Fitness, and maybe I'll figure out something. But anyway, moving right along to some of the random yet relatable things that maybe you've seen on your timeline. God knows I've seen them on mine, so let's chat about it for a second. First and foremost, let's talk about the Montgomery, Alabama boat fight, because that's literally everywhere. And we don't have to talk about the fight in and of itself, because we know they were wrong and they deserved what they got. My whole thing with that is one major thing. The women that felt the need to get involved from that. Now, I don't know if those women were like sitting on the pontoon. I don't know where they came from exactly. But when they saw those men fighting, I would really like to know and understand what prompted them to get up and get in the mix of all of that. Because let me tell you something. If I'm sitting somewhere and some men get into it, even if it's men that I know, it's men that I know, I don't think I am going to say to myself, oh, Tia, girl, let me get up out of this seat on this pontoon boat and go over there and try to break up a fight amongst, I don't know, 5 people. Absolutely not. 5 men at that. Like, girl, is you crazy? Why would you do that? And so then she gets thrown in the river, which again, I'm like, ma'am. And then one of them, I think, got hit with a chair. I'm like, ma'am, what did you think was going to happen? When you left the pontoon and you walked over to where the action was happening, did you think that in the moment, like with people not really, like thinking clearly, because at this point adrenaline is all over the place, did you think they were going to care that you were a woman? That's number one, because no one's thinking rationally at that point. And then number 2, if you get into a fight with the man, or if you start a fight with the man, I have to remind you that it is a fight. It is a fight. So he might throw you in the river and you might get hit with a chair. You might. If you start a fight with somebody, hopefully, in some cases, let's hope and pray that this never happens to you. But if you're in a situation like the riverboat situation and you insert yourself where you didn't have to, then I don't know. Like my brother always says, it's a dirty game and you can't complain when you chose to play. It's a dirty game. That whole situation was a dirty game, because they could have just left that man alone and let him do his job. They could have just moved their pontoon so the riverboat could park. They could have. That is the dirty game. The part about you can't complain when you chose to play, well, you can't complain about getting thrown in the river and or getting hit by a chair when you inserted yourself into a situation that you did not have to. You could have sat on that pontoon, because that's what I would have done. You could have sat on that pontoon boat and recorded it like everybody else did. You really could have. You really could, unless you thought you had the brutal strength to either beat somebody up or really break the fight up, which, let's face it, with all of those men fighting each other, you didn't. That wasn't for you. You're not a referee. You're not. You're not calling the rounds. That wasn't for you, sis. You should have stayed in the boat. I was reading on Threads the other day, something about how Taylor Swift gifted all of her crew and like her tour staff with like these really large bonuses. And they were talking about how nice and sweet she is for like doing something like this. And it happened to be the same day that the news about Lizzo came out. And I don't know if people know about the Lizzo news, but Lizzo is being sued for allegedly creating a hostile work environment. And they have lots of different examples of how her work environment was hostile. If you go and you either watch a video about it or you read it, the people was laying it all out, right? Okay, so to me, and maybe I'm just being a little bit of a conspiracy theorist here, but I thought that was weird. I was like, those two stories came out on the same day. Like, oh, Taylor Swift did so-and-so. Like, she's such like an awesome person. And look at Lizzo over here creating a hostile work environment by fat shaming and like doing all these other like absolutely ridiculous things allegedly. You know, I don't even know if I believe all of the news about Lizzo. A part of me, I don't know, y'all. And I love Lizzo's music. Let me tell you, when the Barbie movie came on, like, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen Barbie yet, I'm going to take it as you probably don't care to see it until it comes out on like a streaming device, right? So spoiler alert, when the Barbie movie comes on, it's Lizzo. Like, she opens up the Barbie movie, not her physically, but like her music opens it up. And that's one of the things that I have always loved about Lizzo and her music. I have always been so happy for her in the fact that her music crosses over and it's very commercial. So she's making a lot of money by writing these songs that, of course, get played on the radio. But then y'all know Lizzo's music has been on commercials. It's always in movies. And that's like amazing. Like, that's so good for her. But the Barbie movie opens with her song from that soundtrack. I think it's called Pink. It's a great song. It's so cute. And hearing the news about some of the stuff that, you know, she's got going on has made me be like, oh, do I see that? Maybe I could see some of it possibly being true. But then some of it, I'm like, ooh, I think maybe some of this y'all just took the wrong way. Like, I think some of this stuff, maybe you are right for feeling the way you do, and y'all would have to go catch up on what she's being accused of. But some of it, I'm like, yeah, that's too much. Like, can we not be put in those kind of situations? But then some of it, I'm like, well, I mean, she's an entertainer and this is her show. And she maybe just needed to find a nicer way to get some of these thoughts across. But I don't know if I believe everything. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, I think people just are offended these days with really about any and everything. I think people are just too easily offended, or they like to play the I'm offended kind of role if they feel like it's going to benefit them. I really do think that too these days. I think people do it. I read the book, The Four Agreements, and one of the chapters in that, like one of the agreements talks about becoming easily offended, and that it totally changed my life. I'm like, oh yeah, in order for me to be offended by something that someone says or by a person or a situation or whatever, I would have to almost agree with what it is you're either saying or doing in order for it to be offensive. Now, that doesn't mean that in Lizzo's case that what these people are saying did not offend them. I think their situation is completely different. And if any of it is true, that is wild. It's crazy. But I guess we'll have to just see how it plays out. I have been watching Suits on Netflix, and it is so good. Like when Meghan Markle married Prince Harry, I really didn't know of her skill or talent as an actress. I had never seen anything before that she was actually in. I knew of Suits when it was out on USA, but I never watched it while it was out on USA. And to see her on that show, I'm like, man, you really gave up a career that you were seemingly pretty good at to marry him. Like, she's really good on that show. And the show itself is really good. Like, if you haven't seen it, it's a good watch. Like, we've been watching a couple episodes every night before bed, and it's really, really good. It's almost so good that I kind of want to say, dang, Megan, I wish you kind of weren't the Duchess of whatever so that you could possibly still be in things. Like, she's not a bad actress. She's really believable in that role. So, if you haven't seen Suits, check it out. It's really good. I have still been giving, and just like that, TV viewing time. Because every episode I watch it thinking and hoping that it's going to get better. And finally, it did. The most recent episode of it, when Carrie and Aiden are like walking around shopping for stuff in that store, I'm like, man, this episode actually feels like Sex and the City. Miranda is calling Carrie out on her decision making. They finally gave Miranda some cute clothes. It felt like, old Sex in the City. Now, I don't know how I feel about Aiden coming back. I feel like Carrie is going to mess it up. I know she is, and she's going to break his heart, and she's going to go all the way to Norfolk, Virginia, and do it on his farm. I just know she's going to fumble. I know she is. It's just a matter of when she's going to do it. Not if, but when. Watching that show now as someone who is more grown up, I'm like, Carrie is not a good friend. Number one, she left Seema hanging out to dry with the summer house in the Hamptons. And Seema was really upset about that, which I guess I can understand. But then also they made Seema's character seem above that. You know what I'm saying? Up until this point, I've kind of felt like Seema's character would have just gone on to the Hamptons, kind of like Samantha would have. Carrie would have said that to Samantha, that Aiden was coming, it won't even be whatever. And Samantha would have been like, girl, say less. I'll get my own place. You guys stay booed up all summer. I don't care. That's the kind of energy Samantha would have came with. Seema literally called off the whole summer. So like now she's not even doing anything with her summer just because Carrie is going to be with Aiden. And I think that that's really weird. I don't know. I just didn't see that coming from her character. Nicole Ari Parker's character, whose name I still can never remember. I cannot remember her character's name to save my life. I just still refer to her to Nicole Ari Parker. I wish they would give her and Naya more of a story. Like, we haven't seen Naya in 2 episodes? I can't recall seeing her in the past 2 episodes. So with that being said, I'm just like, why did y'all even put them on the show? Because y'all haven't given them any real story times, any real screen time. There's no real plot around them. Nothing actually focuses on them. Y'all just kind of mention their lives, but we don't dive deep enough into them really for what y'all mentioned to even matter. Meanwhile, we've gotten a lot of Che. And I would have to say, I like Che's character better as Carrie's friend. She does a really good job of being like Carrie's plus one to the show. Because I think Nicole Ari Parker is Charlotte's plus one and Naya is Miranda's plus one. Get it. We love it. Well, and I think Seema is kind of like Carrie's plus one too. And of course they would give Carrie more than one friend. Of course they would. Because she's so great at being being somebody's friend. But yeah, I think I enjoy Che more as Carrie's friend. I like her character better. And I even like the story that they have around her better. Like now that she's trying to figure out what her life is like now that she's not on that TV show anymore. That to me is way more interesting to watch and see how that unfolds versus them trying to make her and Miranda like a couple that didn't, from the beginning, I just didn't think they were going to hit it off as a couple. Because you could tell Miranda just wasn't even herself. And what we love about that show, we love the fact that Miranda was always herself, whether we liked it or not. And to see her, standing slumped over in outfits that old Miranda kind of would never wear, just didn't even seem like it fit right. So I'm glad to see Miranda's back working in some type of legal office. And hopefully this is not spoiling anything too much. But I'm glad to see where everybody is at now in the show. That last episode felt like a really good one. I would just love to see Nicole Ari Parker and Naya's character just as much as we see Che's. Because we've I feel like we know who Che is. I'm just hopeful. I'm hopeful that her and Miranda don't spin the block. Like, I want Che to date somebody else. I want Miranda to date. Well, I think Miranda tried to date somebody else. She tried to date that Arthur, and that didn't go. That did not go well at all. But anyway, I hope they date other people, but still remain a part of the circle so we can see how their stories evolve. We just need a little bit more of an equal distribution of the storytelling. I also tried to watch Sweet Magnolias. And I gotta admit, I was working on that disco cowboy hat while I was watching it, but Sweet Magnolias didn't get my attention the way that I kind of needed it to. I feel like it's not as good as last season. I'm gonna go back and watch it though, because like I said, that could have just been on me because my attention was elsewhere fighting those little mirror tiles. When you see people say that they made their own disco cowboy hat for any reason, please know that that was a hard thing for them to do. Like, it's not easy. And I don't know if it's hard because I have long nails. I don't know if it's hard because the towels are so small. I don't know if it's hard because it's like it takes a million of them to cover a hat. But let me tell you one thing. I started making that hat while I was watching Sweet Magnolias on a Friday night. The next day, while I was watching Suits, I ordered myself a hat because I said, you know what won't be breaking my soul? These towels and this hat. So my other hat already came in the mail. So yay for me for not feeling stressed about making it. But then I had the brilliant idea. I was like, oh my God. And he is gone. God bless my husband. He is going to be like, girl, you too much. And that's fine because I am. But I thought to myself, oh my gosh, I'm going to have on my disco mirror ball hat. I'm halfway done with this other one. Why don't I just finish it somewhat and make him at least carry it? Make him wear it for a couple photos. I mean, it'll be okay. It's a cowboy hat. We don't know. I'm going to see how far I can push. I'm going to see how far I can push him on this Beyonce weekend without him being like pushed too far to the left. We're going to see how far he's willing to go, and however far left he's willing to go, I'm going to take him there, and that's where we're going to rest for the whole weekend. And so far, like, he's been with it. Like, this whole week, he has been sharing Beyonce's albums with me. Like, I don't already have them, and like, I don't know the words, but like, he sent me this thing, or he told me about this thing of like my week of Beyonce. So he's been like sharing the music with me, and he's like, girl, make sure you're ready for this concert because like I'm ready to see you have a good time. And I'm like, bruh, you already know. You just make sure you know the words. You make sure that you know when to go mute, because I've been on my Zoom as a member of the Hive and I'm ready. I just got to make sure that you know the lyrics to heed it. Okay, sir? Because I'm ready. I'm ready, which we can go ahead and just casually go into our Beyonce segment of this phone call. So girl, if you don't care, this is where I can say goodbye and I love you and I will talk to you next time. But y'all, my tour date is here. Okay. My tour date is Friday. So it's literally 3 days from today. So excited. I got my hair done. I'm getting my nails and my lashes done later in this week. My little outfit is ready. I'm feeling real good about my outfit. I don't know what the weather is going to be like. Some of the shows have been getting rain, but apparently she still goes in the rain. So yes, yes, and yes. And I'm so excited. I have been looking at places for us to like eat and hang out around the hotel that we're going to be at, which is kind of like down there in the madness of it all. So I'm hoping that after the concert, like the streets will just naturally fill themselves. So it'll kind of be like fun no matter where you go. But I am ready. I'm ready. And I've been trying to figure out if and how I'm going to document my little Beyonce weekend. Because I'm also celebrating my half birthday, I would like to believe that it would be fun to do it. But then again, I'm not good at sharing things. Like, I'm not good at documenting things like in the moment. And then I'm also very bad about still caring about things after they have already happened. So like I'm in the moment when I'm in the moment, and I might record stuff in my phone and all of that. But then after the experience is over, I'm not all that good about being like, oh, let me turn this into a thing and like share it. And I feel like videos from this tour are all over the internet. So what is one more video? Like, unless she's hanging from Renee in the ceiling, because that's how she closed out the show, and she looks down at me and she's like, ooh, girl, I like your outfit, I probably won't share anything because, I mean, we have seen it all. We've seen it all. There's nothing left to share as far as this concert is concerned, other than my pure excitement for going to it. And I'm beyond. Our tour date has finally arrived. All of the friends that I have that have already gone, all of them had a great time. Everyone has told me, like, Tia, you're going to get your life. Like, just prepare yourself. And I'm like, yes, and yes. Like, you guys have no idea. If you should happen to see me this weekend, and I don't seem like the me that you see on Instagram or that you talk to on this podcast, like, girl, just know that regular me will return, probably somewhere around late Sunday afternoon. But the me that I will be this weekend, she rarely ever comes out to play. And when she does, like, it is a time. It is a full-blown time, and I am so excited to have it. So it's really about more than the concert to me. To me, it is really about like, oh, you're halfway to 40. So, check that off our list. We're excited about that. 2, it's always good to have a little end of summer celebration for me, like as a mom, because I'm like, ooh, yeah, Tia, you really did that with them kids this summer. They had a great summer. They were ready for back to school. Like, everybody's happy. They're healthy. You managed to not ruin them in any way this summer. So, check that off your list. And you haven't burnt this place down yet. Like, look at you, thriving and flourishing. Look at you. You deserve a weekend. And let me tell you what else. At some point this weekend, I'm going to eat something that feels so soothing to my soul. I'm leaning towards a cheeseburger and French fries, or something like cheeseburger adjacent. I don't know what it's going to be, but I'm like, oh, Tia, you also deserve to eat whatever you want this weekend because you have really been eating all of the seafood and all of the vegetables, and you deserve to eat something nice and delicious. So I'm excited for that too. I'm beyond. I need to go on my run to the store for my champagne. I need to get stocked up on my champagne. And it's going to be me, my boo, my champagne, and all of those sequins that I'll be having on. All the sequins. If it sparkled, I bought it. And I plan to have all of it on as I bounce around the Atlanta area this weekend. So keep me in your T's and P's. And I will definitely share my whole time, here with you when I talk to you again. I think that's it for our first episode of season 3. If you or someone you know is looking to develop healthy habits, you're looking to get in shape, gain some momentum, become more consistent with the way that you meal plan, eat, work out, get your sleep, take care of yourself, practice really good, delicious, yummy self-care, please reach out to me. You can do that by emailing me at tiavfitness@gmail.com, or you can check out my website, tiavfitness.com, or girl, you can slide into my DMs at tiavfitness on Instagram. I so appreciate you coming back for season 3. I'm so glad we had a chance to catch up today. Remember, when you're out, make sure you compliment a woman when you see her. Tell her something nice about herself, which also, spoiler alert, they do that all in Barbie. Like, Barbie, the movie is good, y'all. Go see it before it's out of the theaters. Like, please go see it. It teaches so many good lessons, and it gives us so many good reminders as a woman. But yes, compliment a woman when you see her out. Hey, Barbie, like, do that. Don't compete, don't compare, don't complain. What God has for you is for you, and never knock another woman's hustle. I hope you guys have a great day. I will talk to you next time. Love you, girl. Bye.